Welcome, everybody. As you join, kindly tell us where you're joining us from. Just type in the chat where you're joining us from as we wait for the rest to join. Welcome, everybody. I see one of our speakers is already in the house. I'm just waiting to see Irene in the room before I stop the music and then it starts. Oh, Irene just joined. Lovely. Yes, I love food, just like the music said, and I hope you do too, because that's why we are here anyway, to talk about food in the hospitality sector. My name is Odhiambo. I'm the founder of TechPalate Insights, and welcome to today's webinar. Yes, so if you can hear me, just type in the chat where you're joining us from, your name, where you work, or if you're a student, whatever you do, if you're a founder, and where you're joining us from. Just go to the chat section. Joshua is here. Yes, Joshua from Foodpreneurs Hub is here all the way from Nigeria. Who else? Who else want to tell us where they're joining us from, their name? I can see so many of you. On my screen, I can see Jim, I can see Regina. Thank you guys for joining. Those are people I know personally. Olatoy Elizabeth, thank you for joining all the way from Nigeria. Teresia Migai, thank you. Jim is joining from Nairobi, Kenya. Anyone else? Anyone else? All right. So, as we start, Irene, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Irene? Ola, can you hear me? You're muted.
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, so kindly tell us a bit about you and maybe what's the first perception when people meet you, what's their first perception of you?
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible? Okay, I'm truly honored to be here. My name is Olasumbo Olagoke-Komolafe. I began my journey in hospitality as a quality control officer back then when I thought food safety was just about checking food. But now I really know about it, that it's all about protecting lives. So when we are talking about food safety, we are protecting lives. So one plate at a time in order to ensure food safety, not to push the process. So today I'm excited to share how simple science-driven steps can keep our plates safer and our practices smarter. And yes, in case you are wondering, like we have asked, in case you are wondering, the secret to good sleep, fully cooked chicken and food that does not unbreak is the answer. So I hope that we enjoy this section together. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. There is one question that you haven't answered. When people first meet you, what's their perception of you?
Quality conscious.
Outside work, outside work.
Quality
Just you as
conscious.
Ola.
Food safety is the key.
Nice,
Yeah.
okay. Irene, what about
Yes.
you? Who are you?
My name is Irene Opiyo.
Mm-hmm.
I started my career in manufacturing industry.
Mm-hmm.
Then I saw a gap in the hospitality industry. I joined at Best Western Plus in Nairobi CBD. Then I moved to Mövenpick, and now I manage both Mövenpick and Novotel. Did I manage?
If
Did I
I meet
finish?
Irene, yes, if I
Sorry?
meet Irene, what's going to be my first perception of you?
If you meet Irene, the
Mhm.
first perception you should get is that what Irene does, she does with heartfelt care.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because when we talk about food safety and hospitality, we are touching public health directly.
Yeah.
And if we don't do it with all our heart, then we are going to serve food that is not safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So just give me a minute. On to our very first question. As we all know, this month is all about food safety, and the theme for this year's World Food Safety Day is Science in Action. So how do you see this playing out at Mövenpick?
Today at Mövenpick Hotel, we join the whole world in celebrating the
Oh,
day.
sorry about that.
You can share your screen.
Yes, I want to share my screen right after you speak.
Okay.
Yeah.
In hospitality, now Mövenpick and Novotel, how science plays key role. We do not just focus on the SOPs and the documents we have in place, because we talk about science, then something that rings into a food scientist mind is, do you do verification? Do you do hand swabs? Do you do surface swabs? Do you take your samples to an external laboratory? And actually, who audits you? Who is your auditor? Is your auditor someone with integrity? Do you have internal auditing system? And another thing that really touches on science is refrigeration process. If your refrigeration process is not working, then you don't have food safety in place.
Thank you, Irene. As I'm trying to open your video, Accor has a strong hygiene reputation, clearly, because you are there. What's one
Yes.
practice that makes your system work and that smaller hotels could easily adopt?
The system that makes us work is everyone gets involved. No one is left out. From the receiving team to those people who manage or handle food in our processes, the team that cooks, the team that serves, the team that welcomes our guests from
We have kind of lost you, Irene. Irene, you're muted.
Okay. I was saying what makes Mövenpick and Novotel stand out is how we involve everyone in food safety. Our receiving team, the procurement team, the team at the gate, the team at the reception area, the team at the restaurant, the team that manages housekeeping. Everyone is involved and everyone is trained. So if you put everyone in place, then you will be at Mövenpick's place.
Thank you for that. So just like you've said, you involve everyone, not just the QA. How do you do that so that even when you're not around, they do the right thing?
I train. When I was in high school, I never wanted to be a teacher. But the moment I stepped my feet in the hospitality industry, I became a teacher. So I train in a weekly basis. I must have a sit-down class with my team. So that means in a week, I must have at least 2 sit-down classes. That is at Novotel and at Mövenpick. Because it is through training, a regular training, that actually makes the practice to be put in place. Yeah.
Nice. Because as we know, food safety is a behavior. It's something that is ingrained in the mind, not just something that you will wake up one day and you find people are adhering to the rules, right?
Yeah.
We say we can't train our way to food safety. We must first embed it in our minds. So,
Yes.
What should small businesses or caterers know before supplying hotels like yours?
Very good question, Kate. What they should know is food safety is not cheap.
Yeah.
They have to implement food safety in place. We do encourage and we do buy from small-scale manufacturers, small-scale farmers, because Accor at large really promotes small, micro, and medium enterprises compared to larger enterprises, and especially from local people. But now the major problem comes when now we have this kind of manufacturers, but they don't even have a hand washing station.
Yeah.
So if they can monitor food safety very well, then we can buy from them. If you get it right from the supplier, you will get it right at your processes. And if you don't get it right from your suppliers, then you're buying food that you're not sure of.
Thank you. I've finally managed to upload it on my drive. So what I want to do is go behind the scenes and see what Accor does, so that we see they're not just saying that they are there to food safety culture, but it's actually something they do. And Irene has actually given me permission to visit them anytime anonymously.
Yes, please.
And check their facilities.
Yes, please, and come when we are busy.
Okay, let me just play it. It's a short video.
Happy World Food Safety Day. Today at Mövenpick Hotel, we join the whole world in celebrating the day. The theme of this year is Science in Action. Our artist exemplifies this theme daily by translating scientific guidelines into tangible actions that safeguard health and well-being of our guests. Our dedication to implementing rigorous food safety protocols, from hygiene practices to precise temperature controls, demonstrate profound impact of science into action. We audit our suppliers. We receive food at the correct conditions. We precisely check the temperatures and we store food at the correct temperatures. Food safety is everyone's business. We honor our artists as vital contributors to a safer environment. We color code our products precisely. The knife, the chopping board, and the crate. 8 million people die globally due to poor hand washing procedures. At Mövenpick Hotel, we wash our hands and we wash it thoroughly. We cook to the correct temperatures. Temperature we are sure of, the pathogens are going to die. We wash our fruits and vegetables and ensure we get the correct concentration. Up to service on our buffets, we check the temperatures precisely with calibrated thermometers. We do not neglect our bars. Our bars are part of food safety because the alcohol juices are also food.
Wow, incredible, right? That is science right there in action, in motion, systems, training, details. So let's continue even as I stop sharing my screen. So what challenges do you face in implementing food safety standards? Because I know there are a lot.
Yes,
And
there are
how
a
do
lot.
you overcome them?
The main challenge that I face in hospitality industry, I think I can put it on the government. The learning institutions, I don't know whether it is in the whole world or just in Kenya, they don't really emphasize on the importance of food safety in their colleges.
Yeah.
So you find a fresh team from the college, you ask them, what is the safe cooking temperatures? They don't know. You ask them, what is the safe fridge temperatures, the safe freezers temperatures? They don't know. So the major challenge that I face on a day-to-day basis is on trainings and on learning institutions. So if the government can really get it well, train our team, put it as part of their syllabus, then once they graduate from the college, they come to the industry, they will know what food safety really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the major challenge I face is training. The moment we get it right, things will just roll. Actually, when you train a chef well, a chef will not get into the kitchen if they are not sure there is no one with a thermometer.
Yeah.
They will call and tell you, Irene, our thermometer has failed today. Do you have a spare in your office? I'll say, yes, please come for it.
Wow.
So that is the major challenge in hospitality industry. Maybe our friend from Nigeria, Ola, will tell us that the challenge she's facing at her place.
Yeah, she'll definitely tell us that. At the end
you're
of the day. Oh, sorry, Ola.
Yeah, she's on point. Yeah, that's true. Temperature is a challenge.
Yes. Okay, and even as we continue, the audience, you can keep on typing your questions in the chat. I know some of you submitted your questions in the form and we are going to address them. But if you didn't submit and something has come up in the course of discussion, feel free to highlight it and we'll make sure we discuss it. So one of the questions that one of our attendees asked was, what does it take for food science professionals to work in the hospitality industry?
What a lovely question. Many people, especially food scientists, what comes to their mind when they think about hospitality is just the warm welcome they get at the reception, and they don't really think that actually I'm a food scientist, so in a hotel there is food.
Yeah.
So who is the right person to drive food safety in hospitality is a food scientist.
Mm.
So they should actually know it very well that for hospitality to prosper in terms of food safety, we really need food scientists. There was a day we were at a certain conference, and I asked if anyone could be interested in attachment in a hospitality industry. I didn't get one. I even told a team in a group of food science professionals who is really interested in attachment in a hospitality industry. They don't want. Then who do they really want to uphold food safety system in a hotel? They want to come to a hotel. They want to eat food that will not make them diarrhea, food that will not make them vomit, food that will not make them get nausea. Then who is that right person? Is a food scientist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why do you think they feel that the hospitality industry isn't for food scientists?
Because maybe it is not really stressed, even in our colleges, it's not really stressed. Even by the time when we were looking for attachment, we were told, get a manufacturing company, go to care.
And we lost you. You're muted, actually.
Apologies, it keeps on just muting automatically.
Sorry.
Where did you lose me?
No, when you're telling us it's not emphasized enough in school, we're just told to go to the industry, to go to cabs.
Yes, it's not stressed that actually hospitality people needs us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you. So, and while we are talking about career paths and upskilling, I'm now going to give the floor to Foodpreneurs Hub, who is one of our amazing partners, to just shine a light of some of the courses they offer. They've been training chefs, food handlers, and founders across Africa, especially in Nigeria. So Joshua Abiye, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. I hope you guys can hear me.
We can hear you.
Okay. So thank you so much, Catherine, for the opportunity. So I just want to quickly dive in what Foodpreneurs Hub is. Please help me with the next slide.
Okay, shortly there.
Okay, so who are we? Foodpreneurs Hub is a food tech company that provides training resources, mentorship, and a community of support for African food innovators. Our vision since 2019 has always been to empower you. When we say you, we mean all business owners, but we are more in the food sector. We empower them to start, grow their food businesses or their food empire. Please, the next slide. So what do we do? Like as I earlier said, at Foodpreneurs Hub, we provide expert mentorship. We provide access to practicals, industry-focused online courses that cover the entire food business journey from idea to expansion. And we also offer free consumption calls. Now, I'm speaking on behalf of the company and on behalf of my boss, which had a very long, how should I put this word? Should I call it like a passion? She had a passion for the food industry. And she thought about it that why not I create a food hub where I can bring like-minded people together. We can all network with each other. We can all ask questions, because one thing we have found out is that we can testify here for those that have a business that the journey of entrepreneurship is not an easy one. So, like the Bible said, iron sharpeneth iron. So if you don't have somebody supporting you, you have a question, it's just like going blindly on a trade that you don't even understand how it is. So we provide you courses that teach you these things, and the courses are not just courses we just write out anyhow. We take our time from top professionals to ensure that these courses are well detailed and they are very relevant with all field of studies. Since 2019 to 2025, we have been able to conduct more than 30 seminars. We have been able to do one of our biggest summits where we had the likes of Ndidi Awele. For those that are in Nigeria and those that are into the food sector, you might know that name. We have the likes of Tony Bello. And the beauty of it was that all these were free. It was just totally free. We just wanted people to come and hear what these people are doing, these people that are already good in the food industry, what they are doing and how they are leveraging, because we know that knowledge is the key. And also, we have been able to launch various of our courses. And one of the most important course is the food funding program, the food business funding program. It's both for it's for any sector, whether you are into whatever business it is. So we teach people how to get grants. We show them opportunities of them getting grants, because we know the key thing in business is how to get grants. If you don't have money for your business, you won't be able to leverage. So we teach people how to get grants, and I will be happy to share that the brand, which is Foodpreneurs Hub, we're able to secure a $250,000 grant for our business, which my boss were able to get, which was early last year. So we want to teach people how to get these grants with our business funding program. We teach people how to get grants, and at the ending of the program, we want people to practicalize the thing they have learned. So we do an in-house grants competition where our students that have learned about how to write a grant, how to know what pitch deck is about, opportunities in getting these grants. Now they test their knowledge with us, where we bring some facilitators to come over, and then we pick a winner, and then we give them these grants. And so far, so good. We have been able to give about 1.2 million naira in grants. But that is just the catchy part. So when I say grants, I don't want people to think that we are a grants agency that we give grants. We teach people how to get these grants. And then just to spicing up the program, because it's a win-win, we then now say, okay, come and show us what you have learned, and then let's give a grant. And still on the business funding program, we also bring investors. So you might just pitch your business and probably do not even win the grant, and you might get an investor. In the last cohort we had some couples of investors reaching out to some of the students that they wanted to invest in their business. So these are the things that you benefit from the business funding program. And also we have programs for food exportation, we have programs for food processing and packaging, programs for food processing and reservation. Now, these are our available programs. However, there are other programs that we have. And if you are interested in a program like this, all you just need to do is visit school.foodpreneurshub.com. Catherine, please help me with the next slide. Is Catherine there? Okay, thank you. And also, we have a community. We have a community with over 1,000 foodpreneurs, a very active community where you can come to and you can ask questions. If you're having a difficulty in your business, you come there and you ask questions, and you see someone that will be willing to share their own experiences. Outside of that, we have had numerous cases of people getting business leads from our community. And the beauty about our community is that it is 100% free. 100% free. All you just need to do is click on a link that I will send to Catherine later today, and then you can join the community. The community is totally free. It's a community where you can get all the encouragement and all the support. And lastly, we also offer a free consultation call. I told you that the essence of the Foodpreneurs Hub, it's more of like a passion. So my boss is more of trying to pour out everything she has just to give to people. So majority of the service we offer are free. The consultation call is free. You'll be able to talk to experts in your field of business, and then you can have it's just a 30 minutes consultation call which is 100% free. Pour your mind heart, get to know some certain things that you are having limitation for. So this is who we are, the Foodpreneurs Hub. If you have further more questions or ways you want to reach us, you can easily probably type a message or reach out to Catherine, and Catherine will reach out to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Joshua, for that. So let's now move to the quick service restaurant side of things. Irene will come back to you later. Ola, so what does science in action look like in your day-to-day? Can you hear me?
Okay. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're on mute.
Okay, okay. All right. Okay, to me, what does science in action means to me, personally for PS in my PSR role, for me, is the everyday application of food science and safety principles. From time, temperature control to hazard analysis, because when we are talking about HACCP, is application of science, and that is science in action. For us to protect the consumers and uphold the quality, ensure safety is upheld. And it's not just lab work that we're talking about, it's how we handle food handling, how it's being prepared, preparation, the storage, how to manage risk. And when we're saying that manage the risk, that is the risk has been identified, and that is HACCP, science in action. And also make data driven decisions, because these are the data that will be collected along the process. And talking about the HACCP that I mentioned earlier, the critical control points, the CP. This is where you get your data, or if there's any issue of incidents or near miss, these are where you get data so that you're able to improve the process and prevent the occurrence of any safety issues experienced. So in fast-paced environment that I work, that is quick service restaurants, that everything is expected to move very, very fast. Even though, yes, even though we have to move very fast to satisfy our customers, but we have to ensure that safety is key, comes first, is priority. So these are integrated into our processes, and that is science in action. There's nothing that we cannot say that we are practicing safety without saying that it's not science. Of course, it's not commercial, it's science in action.
True. Yeah, so when you hear of sweet sensation confectionery, I know most of you maybe felt like, okay, what's a confectionery person doing in an hospitality webinar? But this is a quick service restaurant, yeah? So Ola, if you are like to make a short documentary of your day, let's tell us maybe what's the first thing you do when you enter your facility?
Well, the first thing I do when I enter my facility,
Yes.
is to go to the washroom, the hygiene station, to wash my hands. Yes. Before I say that I want to enter production or restaurant or my office, I have to go to the hygiene station. Then I have to ensure that I wash my hands before I commence any work. So that is the first point of observing, ensuring that safety. If I enter the production, there's every likelihood that I want to touch one thing or the other. And washing my hands, putting my PPE, that is if I'm going to production, I'm not going to my office. No, I have my office, whereby it's administrative work. I'm going to production. I have to wash my hands. I have to change my PPE, ensure that I'm fitted my PPE. Then these are the things
So
that
when
I
you
have
go, sorry. So when you go over to the production space, what's the first thing you look at?
I look at the holding units, that is our freezer, the temperature. I look at the staff, how they are complying to good hygiene practices, that is GHP. Are they fully in their kits? Is their uniform clean? Are they compliant to the lay down regulations, the processes for GHP? And also the hygiene of all this thing does not take it like, it's not up to like second and just look around the hygiene of the environment and also the holding units to ensure that the cold chain maintains the right temperature.
Oh, thank you. You earlier mentioned that in a quick service restaurant, just like the name suggests, you guys work under so much pressure. But how do you balance this with safety? Because as we know, food safety is non-negotiable, right?
Yes, food safety is not negotiable.
Mhm.
Even from the name of the industry that I've said, that everything is expected to happen quickly, as the name implies. But speed is essential in the QSR as well, but safety is not negotiable. So we balance both by designing workflows where hygiene and quality checks are built into the process.
Mhm.
Yes, not treated as separate steps. For instance, exemplars include hygiene setup and service speed is supported by pre-checked product quality. And
Mhm.
of course, just like Irene mentioned, training is very, very key. Every food handlers are trained on how to ensure that each critical point, control point, it is ensured. So they know where they have to act, they have to ensure food safety, they have to practice it. So training is very, very important.
Mhm.
Automation and clear standard operating procedures to also ensure that safety becomes second nature, even in a rush to satisfy customer. Safety
Mhm.
comes first. Yes, safety is very, very key.
Safety comes first, yes.
Yes.
So what are some of the most recurring mistakes you've seen from suppliers that can be avoided?
Okay, like common recurring mistakes. Okay, I will
Mhm.
start with the temperature abuse. That'll be during transportation.
Yeah.
The temperature abuse, yes. These are the common mistakes that we have some grassroots vendors and we have the established vendors as well that have big organizations that can afford code ban. But for the small vendors that cannot afford that, we ensure that there's alternative. Just like a webinar that I gave yesterday is part of what I mentioned, that ensuring food safety, you don't have to break back. That is a matter of the smart. Taken for a small vendor that has to supply chilled products, and you cannot avoid cooling van that worth something like 3 million thereabout. You can always get ice pack in a cooler to transport the product. So this I in my home that I train advise the small vendors. So another recurring mistakes come from poor packaging hygiene,
Mhm.
poor packaging hygiene like Tetra Pak, probably dented or dirty. So
Mhm.
of course, as a quality control, you have to sort this out. You have to reject the one that is not acceptable. And inconsistent in labeling, because it's very, very important, like the batch code for you to that is useful in the case that for traceability and for to maintain the shelf life of the
Yeah.
product. So
Mm.
if they are not consistent, this of course have to be rejected and communicate to the vendors that this is reoccurring and next time they're going to be suspended if they don't correct their system. So these mistakes are avoidable with future suppliers control. So we have that suppliers control in place and regular audits. If there's a recurrence like that, you can go to the suppliers audit because even before they are onboarded as your vendors, there is quality um, suppliers audit is being carried out. And these have been put in place before you partner with them in business. But if it's not sudden, such mistake is just suddenly happening, then there's something wrong with their process.
Yeah.
So visit their factory, their production outfit, and for inspection that what is wrong, and you can always advise them on what to do. So a clear communication of food safety is is right for every vendor, for anyone that they can partner with, so that and their negligence will not affect our home business.
Mm. Amazing, Ola. And I'm sure in all these, there are certain tools you use that help you in your operations. Can you mention some of them? They can maybe be low cost or high impact tools that other restaurants can implement too?
Yes, for the temperature, for the equipment for temperature taking, we have the probe thermometer, and we have the small ones because we know that there are big ones that are expensive,
Mm-hmm.
but there are also small ones that you can also get online.
Yeah.
Though they might not be durable like
Mm-hmm.
the expensive one, but they are still going to serve purpose. So if you
Mm-hmm.
cannot afford the expensive one that can cost you amount the heck, you can always get the smaller ones that can serve the purpose, and with proper handling, they can also last. So temperature probe thermometer is number one. And the second one is the color-coded chopping boards to prevent cross-contamination. So
Mm-hmm.
you can imagine that, for maybe you can say that, what is my business that as in what is the you are running a small scale business and you have to buy like 10 shopping board for different sections. So those are the tools that they are high impact tools that prevent cross contamination, and it will make difference to prevent any form of cross contamination in the production. So color coded chopping boards, whereby you have to use the red chopping board for the red meat, the blue for fish, the green one for vegetables, and the likes. So that is very, very key. And another one that I would say is visual cues like posters at hand washing stations.
Mm-hmm.
This work on the staff. Psychologically, it works on them. By the time they are seeing the visuals every day, so it will always come to their mind that, oh, pops, this picture is posted here,
Yeah.
and it's telling us to wash our hands regularly, because then every tendency, just like what we have said, that a production staff that is expected to pass product to the restaurant can quickly just go to the restroom, and in a haste that, oh, I have the product I have to pass. Somebody is waiting for me in the restaurant to pass the product, can just keep washing their hands at the
Mm-hmm.
hygiene station. But on seeing that poster, they send the signals to them that, oh, I have to wash my hands. I'm just coming from the restrooms. And this will reinforce safe practices without needing high technology that probably showing the screen for your staff to wash their hands. But the simple posters like that, pasted in the production floor, pasted along the corridor that staff are passing by, will really send the signals to them that they have to ensure hand washing. And like digital log sheets, or that is using like Google Form. That's very, very key. Instead of getting this expensive app, know that
Mm-hmm.
there's some food safety app on Happiness that the digital luxury tool is very, very, it works. We all have Google on our system, and we can also create one to log in any data so that we can always go back to that data to improve our processes. So all these are low cost tools, but they have high impact on making difference in our operations. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Do you use any software in tracking these? Maybe like things like supplier compliance, HACCP, verification, and the likes. Are there any software you've implemented?
Yes, like I mentioned, that there are softwares.
Mm-hmm.
There's no, we are talking about low cost now, but you
Yeah.
can always, yes, you can always use, and those software, they are expensive, and you know
Mm.
that you have to, what's it called? You have to renew them, they get expired, and
Yeah.
you have to renew them. But with your Google form, that you know that the data is going to be saved on your drive.
Mm-hmm.
So you can always, any data, you have to want to log in the data, and it will be definitely saved on your drive and to the cloud, and you can always go back to it anytime. There
Mm.
are apps that they are software that they are expensive. We're talking about low cost and they are expensive.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So what advice do you have for cafes or small eateries who are trying to step up their food safety game, but they don't have big budgets?
Yes, for cafes or small eateries
Mm-hmm.
trying to set up, like you said, they just have to start with the basic clean water. Like I said earlier, that you can always inculcate food safety in your business. You don't have to break the bank. You don't have to say that you want to start at the top. You have to start with the basic, which is ensuring potable water,
Yeah.
clear water, personal hygiene, good hygiene practices, personal one, environment, hygiene, your equipment. You know, when customers see you, that the equipment you are using to produce is clean, and even you that you are attending to your customers, you are wearing clean uniform, you are looking neat, and the environment they are going to hit is clean. It's not that they are seeing flies around. You know, they'll keep coming back and to help your business to grow. And train your team with simple visual guides like I've mentioned, even if it's just one person you have employed, you know, to support you as a startup. Just train the person. Is about laying the foundation of food safety. Because once the foundation is laid, and by the time you are growing, you are expanding, the system is already built. It's about building the system. So just start building the system gradually. It doesn't mean the number of staff that you have. Don't say that until I'm now a big wig and there's business that you are now going to be ensuring food safety. You know, just have to start small, and with the number of staff, even if you don't have staff, you are the one that you are doing this in your kitchen, you understand, or as your backyard. Ensure food safety. By the time you are employing staff, it's going to be part and parcel of you. And by the time you employ staff, you're able to train them that, hey, this is what I do in my business, and how you have to operate. Otherwise, I'm going to fire you. You just have to be strict. It's simple. Of course. So train your team with simple visual guides, tell them what to stand for, that food safety is very key in this business. So don't wait for regulators that you are sanction or somebody from outside will now come and tell you what you are supposed to do. It's what you know. Build a culture of safety from within. Start it. No matter how small your business is, start. Partner with food safety professionals. No matter how small you are, there are food safety professionals, like the last speaker Joshua said, you can partner with them. Oh, I heard about you. And I think you mentioned that they had a free training. Attend such training. You don't have to pay. You don't have to pay a large amount before you say that you want to go for safety training. Go online. You will learn a lot. There are so many free webinars like this one that we are having now. You will learn from it. That is, you know that food safety is very, very key in your food business. And use free or low-cost online resources. Like I've said, stay updated. Be updated, go online to help yourself. And doing that, and you have to be intentional. By so doing, you are growing your business and you are laying the foundation. You are building a system of food safety culture. Thank you.
Thank you. That was so profound. Thank you. So there's a question here from Jim. I've read several of these questions, but I feel we've covered most of them. So there's one that says, what are the biggest challenges in maintaining food quality and safety in confectionery, and how do you apply science to address them? Do you still produce confectionery? I think you produce some, yeah?
Yes, we produce
Yeah.
cake. How do you apply science? We talked about that. We HACCP, that is hazard analysis critical control point. It's very, very important because we have to know where to prevent the hazard to occur. We're talking about biological hazard, the chemical, and the physical one. So the microbiology hazard and physical and the physical. So you have to know where to come in. Like say, food safety is science, science in action, that are two for this year. So we have to have a process. As you have a process already, and then ensuring that all these are fitting in your production line, even your confectionery, that you have to ensure that you are baking let's say that cake, for instance, that they have to be baked at the right temperature and the time too. So the use of the thermometer the probe thermometer comes in, that you give to the center of your product, and if it's dry, I know the core of the product at what temperature that is expected. That's the science in action. And also your oven too, ensuring the cleanness of the oven, and you know that it's working perfectly at the right time so that you won't overbake the product. So those are the things that you ensure. And also for your input, your raw materials, you have to know that you are getting them from a reliable source and from a vetted vendor too.
Yeah.
For my side, any packaged items like that, you have to ensure that they are registered with NAFTA so that ensure that, oh, this product is safe for production. And also that the one we talked earlier also that we have to be coded to ensure visibility when there is need for that. So I think that's all for now.
Thank you. There's also this issue of food waste. How do you minimize that?
Yeah, for food waste, you have to know your patronage level. How to prevent that's number one. That means that is budgeting and also forecasting, whereby you know that of course you have to forecast, you have to project as well
Yeah.
that you are envisaging patronage, but at the same time there's a control to put in place. And here now, food safety also play a role in that, whereby for food safety we are not only talking about how safe the food is, it also prevents wastages too.
Yeah.
That is where storage comes in, that you have to keep your products, your input at the right temperature. For instance, your protein, the chicken that has to be frozen at minus 18 degrees centigrade for it to maintain the right texture and not to get spoiled. And you don't know what food safety is, and you are keeping your chicken inside the refrigerator of 5 degrees. Of course, it gets spoiled, and that's the loss to your organization, to your business. And that's the loss to you. So food safety play a role too in ensuring to prevent wastages in what we do. And also the wastages, if you are not clean, you are not observing good hygiene practices, and you have already cooked a lot of products, thinking that your customer will come, and customer comes around and they are seeing dirty environment. Of course, they will leave, and it will lead to wastage that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So when we are talking about food safety, it's not only about food quality, it helps business too. And we are saying that food safety is everybody, it helps business in so many angles. It helps to increase your business. It helps your return of investment that we're talking about. It's not only that marketing is. Are you marketing food poisoning? Are you marketing contaminated food? And yes, get the expected return of investment. So when you put food safety first, it will prevent wastages, and also that the first thing I said, that you have to make sure that you produce in line with your patronage, and you can give a plus or minus to prevent any form of wastage of leftovers that are not the following day that cannot even give to customer. That's it.
Wow. Thank you for that, Ola. This reminds me. So how long do you leave your food outside in the quick service restaurant and also in hospitality? Maybe Irene will also answer that, because there's a maximum amount of time you're supposed to leave it. Maybe we're having an event and we have a buffet. So after this amount of time, it's not supposed to be reheated or eaten. So what do you do in such instances where the time has passed, but you still have a huge amount of food? Do you get rid of it, or what do you do? Because now we have the aspect of food waste. We also have the aspect of food safety.
Okay, yes. What we do, the standard that we have in place is food session is to prevent food wastage. Each of our products, we know the time that we have given a guide that we should spend not more than 2 hours. Because for food safety, that any food in at room temperature should not be left for 2 hours, so that we don't use from reheating it or freezing. But for pressure now, that even in our beam that we display, there's temperature control.
Yeah.
It's that you have to ensure that the temperature for the temperature of the bin for the product is from 65 above. Because we know that from 5 degrees to 60, that is the danger zone. But from 65 above, we ensure that the product are kept, they are held at that temperature. And we have given that, okay, it should not be more than 2 hours. Even there are some that even 1 hour, because we want to maintain the freshness of the product. We want our customer to keep coming back. So even that 2 hours, we don't look at. So what we have done is that you have to supply according to your sales strength, and based on different locations that we have, and based on what your customers are calling for. Maybe in the location, hey, what your customer wants is jollof rice. You know the time to supply it and to prevent stock gap. You know your peak period, so you work in line with your peak period so that you're able to project that, okay, my peak period, I have to cook like 4 kg. Within 45 minutes or 1 hour is going to move. I know that, oh, in the next 1 hour is not my peak period. Maybe I want to cook like 500 grams. You understand? So those are the plan that you have to have studied your market trend so that you prevent any form of wastages or food contamination. But everything is subject to the functionality of your bin, because that's supposed to prevent any form of temperature abuse that your product needs to be kept at that temperature. So that we do, and there is a guide for all products that are displayed on off display, and you have the one that are in cold display. And the kitchen and the front operation will work together. So the kitchen knows that the time for us to cook a bulk order and the time to reduce the order, so that to prevent any form of food wastages, loss to the organization, and ensure food as well.
Thank you for that, Ola. So back to Irene. Irene, can you hear me? Irene, are you there?
Yes.
So I come to Mövenpick. I enjoy my buffet and all that. And then later I come to you saying, Irene, you gave me bad food. I suffered food poisoning. How are you going to handle that?
What we normally do when we are handling food poisoning allegations, we have to have traceability in place. We have to trace this food from the plate to the supplier. And especially because you mentioned buffet food, time and temperature usually a key factor. I will have to know at what time did you come to eat? At what temperature, by the time you are coming, were we serving? Sometimes we do get guests, especially guests in the conferences, and they say we want to have our conference and then we will eat as we leave. And you ask them, at what time will you eat or at what time will you leave? They will tell you we leave at 4 p.m. At 4 p.m., yet our food was ready by 1 p.m. So we tell them we have a 24-hour rule. The maximum time our food can stay on the buffet is 4 hours. And it is only 4 hours when we are maintaining the correct temperature. So I will know at what time did you come to eat. And again, our key thing in our buffet, once it is past 4 hours, we close. And all the buffet leftovers are weighed, and we know how much did we lose as buffet leftovers, and we discard. We do not recycle food that had come to the buffet. So when you complain, we will give you a form that you will politely sign for us. You will give us the history of food that you ate, at what time did you eat. Again, you also give us the history of food you ate 72 hours prior to onset of illness. And you also tell us where you ate that food. So we will use this information to trace our food. Like someone will mention, I came to your breakfast, I took tea and omelette, and I got food poisoning. Omelette is freshly made on breakfast. We do not prepare omelette and we put in a food warmer somewhere waiting for someone to come and serve. So you find the risk of contamination is very low. So what we do traceability. At what time did you eat? What did you eat? When did we prepare this food? When was this food defrosted? In which chiller was it defrosted? When was it brought to the hotel? Which freezer was it stored? Who were on shift on this particular time when we had this food from the receiving to your plate? So we'll do all these analysis, including how many guests did we serve on that particular day with the food that you purport you had, that you allege you had gotten a food poisoning from. So we analyze all this information and we give you a response. And as we fill that information, either by us or by you as our customer, we advise you go to the hospital and do a blood and stool test. Because on our side also, we keep food samples from buffets. We keep all high-risk products. We sample a minimum of 100 grams and we store in our freezer for a minimum of 14 days. So a minimum of 14 days, we can take a sample to an external laboratory and we can test. So if you tested...
Let me interrupt you for a bit, Irene, before you continue. I know we have some SME owners here. So when you talk about high risk, what do you mean? Which kind of food do we term high risk? You're muted.
Apologies, it keeps on muting automatically. High risk products are foods rich in proteins and food with high moisture content. Again, foods that are ready to eat.
Yeah.
If maybe there is a hospitality person here, food that are made in the garde-manger, like the salads. The salads types of food, these are high risk because we do not cook them. We do not have any chemical treatment to this food after we have prepared this food. So those are the high risk products.
Now you can continue. You are telling us something about the lab.
So we take a sample to the laboratory and we also see your result. But mostly people do complain and they fail to go to hospital and they fail to do a stool or a blood test. Can only be proven as a food poisoning if you did a stool or blood test, and our sample also matches with your result, or if more than 2 people complain of the same symptoms having eaten the same food.
Oh, thank you. Just still on that, Edna is asking, by the way, if you have a question, drop it in the chat. You can also raise your hand and then you'll unmute your mic and speak to us. We also want to hear your voices. You're about to wind up in about 26 minutes. What are the key microbiological risks in treated drinking water or juice served in hospitality settings? And how can we align our in-house lab practices to monitor them effectively?
For juices, I will talk about the likes of E. coli. E. coli, because if the water is not treated and we do not heat treat juices, we do not chemical treat juices. So if we did not observe good hygiene practices as we handle this food, then there is likelihood that this food will have the likes of Salmonella, Staphylococcus, E. coli, the microorganisms that are associated with good hygiene practices.
Okay, Edna, but does that answer you? Okay, so this was such a rich conversation, and we've talked about all these practices, we've talked about systems, but then I'd also like us to talk about accountability. I'm going to present something shortly on the same before we wind up with the final questions. Yes, hope you're seeing my screen. Just give me a thumbs up if you are. Just give me a thumbs up if you're seeing my screen. By the way, guys, we have some emojis. You can send a love to the speakers, some excitement. Yeah. You're seeing it. I'm not seeing it on my end. Okay, lovely. So if you have my WhatsApp number, or maybe you follow me on LinkedIn or Facebook, recently I launched something called the Food Integrity Manifesto. Why? We've seen a lot of misinformation spreading. We've seen a lot of unsafe food going around, people not being accountable. So I thought, why not bring an initiative that makes us accountable for our actions? Let me just start from the very start. So this is in a time of raising misinformation, ethical shortcuts, and systemic failures across Africa's food systems. I term it we because it's not only my initiative, but it's for all of us, whether you're a scientist, a technologist, a manufacturer, a professional, you're into media, you're a concerned citizen. We stand united for truth, transparency, and integrity. What are our commitments? Our commitments are: we choose truth, we defend science, we call for transparency, we stand with whistleblowers, we demand ethical marketing, we uplift truth tellers. This means that we not only just spotlight the food safety incidences, but when you're also upholding food safety standards, like now the video we just shared of Accor, we also spotlight that. So what do we want? We are calling on policymakers, regulators, manufacturers, media, and academia. In short, everybody involved in the food value chain to strengthen regulatory frameworks and enforce them fairly, to invest in traceability and testing infrastructure. One thing I want us to have in mind is these are not just things for the West. These are things that are possible in Africa. If the West can do them, why not we as Africans? We create safe reporting channels for whistleblowers, and we also fund public education around food safety and technology. Speak up. If you're a scientist, there's always something that you know. How many people have come to you asking you about this? Just recently, there were cases of videos circulating everywhere on a lot of microorganisms found in noodles. But we as scientists, we are quiet when such things are happening. We're supposed to educate the public when we who know better are fearful and we don't want to come out and speak. So how do you join this movement? First of all, if this speaks to you, you sign the manifesto. There's a QR code there. You can scan it, but I'll also share the link in the chat. You can share this on your social platforms. And most important of all, you can leave it out in your role because every action counts. Many times I've heard that people fear, like when you are a quality assurance manager or in quality control, and then you found a defective product, you want to reject the consignment, but then your supervisor is like, no, sign it, we are taking it in for production. So you as the timid you, which I understand, you will just say, okay, but what if we could stand for the truth? Say, I'm not going to be part of this. It's not something easy. That's why we say food safety is a culture. It has to be ingrained. Yeah. So just one voice, it doesn't even have to be 1,000 of us. Change usually starts with just one person. That's why I decided to start this just as one person, but then I cannot do it alone. I need support from all of you. I need those signatures. I need to get organizations that are going to partner with this so that we can make people accountable. You can invite us to your factory, see what you're doing, gain trust. Because do you know why misinformation is circulating? Because consumers have lost trust in our systems. But what if we rebuild that trust just by you, a single person saying no? Just by you, a single factory opening your doors, just like what Accor did. It will regain trust, and we can uplift our standards to the Western and even maybe surpass them. So that is my brief call in action today. So far, we haven't gotten many signatures, but I was so happy when the first organization that reached out was not even an organization in Africa. It was an organization way in Austria. And this week, as they are holding their summit, it's called the Global Harmonization Initiative. This manifesto is going to be presented over there for people to be part of. So that is the first organization that has partnered with this. And that has just shown me that this is an initiative that can take root if we all come together and we support it. That is my short lecture. I know when I start talking about food safety, I can take ages and ages. Yesterday, we were on a call with Irene. I thought it would take like 2 minutes. We ended speaking for 1 hour. You would think that we had started the webinar. Okay. So I'm going to share the link even as I ask some of the final questions over here shortly. So maybe Irene, you can tell us, how has food safety evolved in the hospitality industry?
Nowadays, the hospitality industry owners, directors, the GMs, they have started to appreciate the importance of having food scientists in place. Like you see, for hotels in the Westlands, a good percentage, they have food scientists in place. The food scientists do not be afraid. The knowledge of food scientists is being appreciated in the market, and that is where we are heading to. And you find nowadays there are temperature monitoring devices that can even send a direct notification to an engineer that freezer number 20 is now operating beyond critical limits. Please rush to that. So food safety is being taken seriously nowadays in hospitality as compared to before.
Nice. So how can you advise young food scientists who want to enter in the food hospitality industry?
I can advise them that when you really want to come into to hospitality industry, do not be afraid to speak out your voice. Because if you are silent, then you are affecting public health. And they will rely on your information to make decisions. So as a food scientist, when you come to hospitality industry, be ready to be a teacher and be bold when you're making decisions. And only make decisions that are informed. Because when you make a small mistake, this food is not going to be cooked anymore. It's a food that is already in plate. So make sure the food you take to a guest table is safe.
Thank you. Thank you. So to Ola, what does science in action mean to you personally in your QSR role?
Yes, to me, it's everyday application of food science and safety principles. So no matter how quick we want to satisfy our customer, no matter how we are so conscious that we don't want to keep our customer on the queue, think that it's a service restaurant that we just want to pick and go, or they enter the restaurant, they just want to quickly be served and sit and eat if at all that they want to eat in or to take out. That, of course, for customer service angle is that customers must not be kept waiting on the queue for more than 2 minutes. but you have to ensure that whatever we are serving the customer in a role, I want to be aligned with what our industry is, that food service, we want to keep customer waiting. We have to ensure that what we are serving them is safe. We have to ensure that the feedback that we want to get from customer from taking our food is that I enjoyed your food and I'm coming back. Not that I ate your food, I have food poisoning, I landed in the hospital. So in this, science is in action to ensure that the food that we are serving to customers as quick as we want to, it is a safe food. It's a safe food on their plate, and to ensure that we are serving the public safe products. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm seeing a question from Maureen. Maureen, we had answered this. I'm not sure if you are in the call, but in case you missed it, don't worry. We'll share the recording later. I'm not seeing any more questions. So I believe this has been such an enriching conversation. So thank you, Irene, and thank you, Ola. If you agree with me that this has been an enriching conversation, just drop me some love, some fire emojis, whatever emojis you're feeling right now. I want to see them coming. We're about 30 of us. People keep joining. Yes, drop the emojis. Yeah, and you can also drop in the chat your key takeaways. What was your key takeaway from this meeting? If you're bold enough, you can also unmute and let us know what was the key takeaway. What did you love? Who is bold enough to unmute and tell us what they loved about the session? You can also drop it in the chat. Okay. We are all shy, apparently. So thank you to Irene. Oh, nice. I'm seeing a bold one. Edna. Hi, Edna.
Hi, Catherine.
How are you?
Okay, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just to comment a bit on the hospitality industry.
Yeah.
Being a food scientist. Okay, I had a question about customer focus. Let's say in an hotel, a client wants a product to be altered according to their satisfaction, but then according to you, you know that is going against the standards. Like, how do they handle this in the hotels? Maybe food scientists based in the restaurants. Yeah.
Is it in the restaurant or in the hotel? And who are you directing it to? Is it to Irene or to Ola?
Okay, either of them. If they
Choose
can.
one.
Okay, Ola maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the question is, like, for quick restaurants, we don't deal with alcohol. We don't sell alcohol in our restaurant. And from what I know, that if at all that we want to do that, we have to take permission. That is, it's called liquor permit from the local government.
Can I interrupt? Thank you.
And okay, so go ahead if I got your question right.
Oh, I was not basing it on alcohol. It's just a product. Let's say, for example, it can be drinking water or carbonated drinks. Maybe someone wants it to be more carbonated, but then according to you, you know that those let me say additives, it's going against the standards that are required. Like, how do you go about that? Do they go ahead satisfying the customers' requirements and going against the standards? Yeah, that was the question.
Okay, of course, no, but the customer is what we are selling that the customer is going to buy. And we, as a food scientist, we have to advise the customer that even what we are requesting for is not good for consumption. But by the way, the company that is producing this, even they today are also under watch by regulators to follow the standard in all their composition. So for them to be requesting that this is a certain thing that they want in that product, it will go a long way to satisfy such customer. because the customer will not see it as unless the customer wants to go to unregulated markets. Therefore, regulated markets that we are, and also where we are getting our product from. Like I mentioned in one of my when I was speaking, that we get all our products from a vetted, audited vendor, and that they are also regulated by our NAFDAC. So of course, NAFDAC will not approve such products, and by so doing, it will not get a product that is not regulated. So the only thing that you can just tell the customer is that it's not good for your health, but sorry, we don't sell such in our restaurant.
Thank you, Ola. I think yeah, I can
Hi,
answer.
hi.
Hi, Chris.
I wanted to answer Edna.
Mm-hmm.
I think for every company, whether it's an hotel or it's a manufacturing food industry, there are some regulations or some principles that are put in place.
Yeah.
Despite the person being your client and asking you to do something in favor of them, that is reaching out to your roles that you have put in place. And that one can affect the rapport for the company if it goes out there and backfires and it's known. So I would tell Mwango never to do that, because at the end of the day, if something goes bad, you will go down with the company. Just follow the principles for the company that are put in place. Do the right thing. It's better you lose one customer for doing the right thing, unlike you doing the wrong thing and losing 1,000 customers. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Grace. I love how you speak. You speak like a lecturer. Thank you. Is there anyone else before we wind up? I don't want to cut anyone out. Do you have anyone else? Yes. So just as we close now, Ola, give us one sentence as a parting shot. Irene also, one sentence.
Okay. Thank you all for being such an engaging audience. So one sentence, like I have said, let's keep serving not just good food, but safe food, because every plate is a promise.
Thank you, Ola. Irene? Irene, can you hear me? Oh, you're on mute.
Yes. Now okay.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I would like to thank you, Kate, for organizing for this webinar, and also to thank the team that joined today. It has been fruitful, even from the emojis you have sent. I can see that it has really been fruitful. So one thing that I can leave the audience with, those in the hospitality industry or manufacturing, I would like to tell them that food safety is not a cheap thing. If they want to sell food that is safe for human consumption, they have to get into their pocket and invest. Yeah, thank you.
Amazing, amazing. Food safety is not cheap, but it will pay in the long run. So Grace has also given us her parting shot. Never compromise on any of your standard parameters as a service or product provider in any way. I wish we would all embrace this, guys. I wish we would all embrace this. We would have such a credible, transparent, and safe food system. It's been lovely having you all here. Thank you to Olasumbo. Thank you to Irene. Thank you, Joshua from Foodpreneurs Hub. I've dropped their website there. You can go and check their courses. I've had the pleasure of working with Foodpreneurs Hub. I've had the pleasure of crafting their curriculum and teaching some units also, especially in food packaging and food product development. Yeah, so check them out and stay tuned. We'll be having more of these sessions. You can also follow our WhatsApp channel. Just started it recently. Yeah, so Bella is saying, Catherine, this has been a great learning experience, great job. I look forward to more of this. Definitely look forward to more of this. And if you want to join the sessions, if you have a specific topic that you want us to discuss, always feel free to reach out. If you registered and you showed interest, I also dropped emails to some of you. If you haven't received an email from me, I'm going to drop it soon after the webinar. And yes, the recording is also going to be shared with all of us. I appreciate you all. Thank you for coming. If you have any suggestions, what you can improve on, we are always welcoming feedback. See you. It's been lovely having you. Oh, thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim. How can I forget you? Thank you so much for sharing this in the group, for supporting a girl child. Thank you. Have a lovely night, guys, and see you in the next one. Oh, Grace, you still have something to say? Grace? I think she did by mistake. Yeah, we can just feel free to leave at our own pleasure as I end the call. Bye. Kiprotich, you've raised your hand. Yeah, raising your hands and people are leaving. Reach out to me via my email or my WhatsApp number.